Yesterday, we had the pleasure of having in our company here at the Weekend Deal Studios His Royal Highness, the Sape of Garki. He is Alhaji Osman Ngakupi. He spent time with us. And one of the very interesting things that we learned from him is that before royalty speaks, it already identifies itself with the manner of dressing. Our talk about our rich history and our rich ancestry, our fantastic cultural norms and traditions are celebrated not just on the African continent, but in the world continues today. As we talk with the Sape of Garki, His Royal Highness Usman Ngakupi. Francis leads and drives this discussion. We already know that the Sape is at the helm of affairs right now in Garki, and there are 3 ruling families in Garki. People come to pay homage at his palace, and he also settles dispute. Francis, tell us more.
Nigeria is a country rich in cultural heritage, and one aspect that truly stands out is the beauty of its royal palaces. These majestic structures serve as symbols of power, authority, and tradition. Beside the beauty of its royal palaces, the regalia worn by traditional rulers in Nigeria is a manifestation of their status and authority. It is a visual representation of their ancestral heritage and the unity of their people.
When we talk of dress, we have the inner dress. You can see our wall is our metal, agbaye, ajid nagmai, asuje. Meaning now this dress is meant for only leaders. And the upper one here now is only meant for only a royal family. You can only wear this dress when you're a royal family or when you are giving a title. And as soon as the people see you with this kind of dress, they know that you must come from royal family. I am expected when we want to have a traditional cultural festival, I am expected to wear this kind of dress to indicate that whoever who comes or who sees me knows that this person must be a Baji native person. So, in most cases, when we are having our own festival, like Jibaje, yeah, we have what we call Jibaje, then I'm supposed to wear this kind of dress. Meaning I'm also giving that respect to my own tradition, culture, norms, and value.
The regalia consists of intricately designed robes, crowns, beads, and other accessories. Each element holds a symbolic meaning, representing the ruler's role as a protector, mediator, and custodian of tradition.
And when you look at the head, you can see the cap with the veil with 2 signs. The 2 signs indicate that you know there's only one God. That's the right side. And then the left side, you're also indicating now that there is a messenger of God. That's Prophet Muhammad. So the 2 these things now are indicating that When you are dating, she tells me that you have agreed as to what you want God. Lion is the king of animals, is a leader. Wherever the lion is residing, whether in the forest, wherever you find yourself, it leads the other animals. That lion also indicates that I am the king. And people know that king, that lion, you cannot go closer to that lion. We call it in Hausa, Zaki, but in Baji, we call it Gaba. Gaba. So, at least, sometimes they have to say Gaba, Gaba, that's in Baji. But in Hausa, we say Zaki, Zaki, Zaki. So, meaning now, if you see lion, see that Gaba, then mess up before that Gaba, or Gaba will clear you and then go move.
The beads, for instance, are an essential part of the regalia as they represent wealth, status, and protection, while the royal staff signifies the ruler's power and serves as a ceremonial object during important occasions.
Some of this short staff, you see, in most cases, if you go to southern part, like Yoruba people, the Igbo people, they foresee is their culture and tradition. I also have my own, a native one, and that native one, I have it inside my place, inside my room. I would have brought it out. It is also symbolizes that once nobody could use that staff, and you don't allow the king or the chief or Sape, I bring my title, if you don't allow that, you use it to hit you with that thing. If you hit you with that thing, you become a miserable person. So in most cases, I then bring it out anyhow.
The royal palaces and regalia of traditional rulers in Nigeria are a testament to the country's rich cultural heritage and the enduring traditions of its people.
We are all human beings. The only thing that differentiates us is our culture, is our tradition, is our custom, norms and value. We must preserve, protect our culture, the type of food we eat, the type of dress we have.
Our focus on Weekend Deal today will be royal palaces and regalia of traditional rulers in Nigeria.
Royal palaces and regalias. Very interesting discourse there with the Sape of Garki talking about his regalia, what he wears for ceremonial events, what he wears in the palace, and then that instrument of authority. Very, very interesting journey into great ancestry. Our nation is rich in culture. And guess where we're touching down now? It's in Kano, where we invite you to come and learn about the 15th Emir of Kano, talking about His Royal Highness Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero. It's very interesting to know that his palace sits on 14 hectares and was first constructed in the 15th century, popularly called Gidan Rumfa or Gidan Sarki. But there's more. Stay with us and you'll learn.
Kano Emirate is one of the longest standing seat of power in the whole of West African sub-region. For more than 5 centuries ago, very little has changed as far as rich cultural practices and heritage that everyone here is proud of. Gidan as the household is popularly called, sit on about 10 hectares of land and composed of 8 royal courts in Hausa called Fada. For the first-time visitor to the palace, the traditional designs on the walls will merely connote beauty, but it is much more than that.
It connotes many things. It depends on the place. Sometimes it's a history, just like murals on the wall. You will see the sword, the knife, the calabash, this and that, and you see the geometric design, the star. You know, most of the design are out of the star formation, you know, as it is in geometry. And then that star is very important astrologically because normally it's a northern star, which is part of the ruler, is guided by one of the ruling stars, Zuhal in Arabic. They call it Zuhal.
Formation of Emir's collection of regalia is remarkable. The colorful designs on the flying gown called Babbar Riga means a lot.
There is a flying gown, Babbar Riga, that has a decoration called two knives. The two knives is a sword used during the lifetime of the Holy Prophet. So it signifies, it has some meaning to
It's
it.
history.
Yes. And there is magic square. You see about 5 boxes, which if you cycle them, it will give you 3x3 matrix. It's a magic square.
It will interest you to know that even the process of sewing this regalia requires specific times and conditions.
In fact, even the time upon which they will start sewing the gown, they have to consider good time astrologically with sort of incantation or recitation of the verses or the names of Allah. So it is not only for, in fact, it is more for protection than aesthetics.
The turban itself tells who the bearer is.
It's kind of turban tells you this is an imam, or this is a prince, or this is a title holder, and that. Anybody you see with 2 rabbit ear on his turban is a princely title holder, or even the emir.
One unique, valuable object of culture is a twin spear, which is peculiar to the Emir of Kano.
It is only the emir that uses the twin spears. He's the only one that wears the ostrich feather shoe. So he's the only one that uses bow and arrow to walk around.
Other symbols such as trumpets and drums are mainly for communication purpose.
It was very interesting to talk about the star formation that represents the intricate geometry that designs the palace walls. That's our history, so rich, so vibrant. You must wonder what I'm holding. Wow. You won't believe it. I'll give you a tip of this interesting story. Of course, you know of Queen Amina of Zaria. Well, I behold her, at least a piece that represents her. We have a designer in-house who will be taking us on a very interesting journey. She's Aisha Bello Akwanga. But for now, let's go to Daura in Katsina to tell you about the emir there. Very rich cultural history, the regalia, the palace. You don't want to miss this. Stay with us.
Palaces in northern Nigeria symbolizes political power, community inclusion and religious authority. I am standing at the palace of His Royal Highness the Emir of Daura, Alhaji Faruk Umar Faruk, which is located at the city center.
The palace has several chambers which are open, spacious and well adorned. The use of each chamber depends on the function and importance of the guest. The Emir of Daura, Alhaji Umar Faruk Umar, holds court sessions sitting on his throne, while his council members pay homage to him before the commencement of every court session.
Shekara 16 da wata 8, amma a tambayi talakawan masarauta ta na Daura sai su ba ku amsa, a tambayi jama'ar Najeriya sai su ba ku amsa. Saboda ne ba zan iya yaban kaina da kaina ba, amma na san ko makaho laluba ya san daga shekara 16 da watanni ya ga abin da ya gani in dai har ya san baya to ya ga abin da ya gani a gaba don haka in ce kaza na yabona ba nan nake ba ina yi ne komai don Allah don in samu kwanciyar kabari in samu cewa aljanna ranar tsayuwa.
Courtyards are special in structure, with wall paintings including the Daura Emirate emblem, that is the snake, sword and a well. As typical as most artworks in northern Nigerian palaces, calligraphy, symbols and geometric shapes are mostly used due to the religious influence on the Hausa culture.
Wannan zane-zane na fada da kuke gani ya samo asali tun daga wani magini da ake kira Gwani Durumbu.
The design originated from a builder, Gwani Durum, from Bauchi State, which is specifically for royalty.
Daga wannan aka ɗauko wannan ado da ake na fada. Ado ne na alfarma na sarauta.
The northern knot, known as Dagin Arewa in Hausa, is another symbol of importance. It symbolizes the unity and political identity of the north. The emir wears a turban, which is a headgear, a royal cloak. It is a garment worn over clothes by the emirs to show a symbol of authority, and the royal shoes.
Mai martaba sarki akwai shiga iri-iri. Yanzu mun ga sarki ya fito majalisa.
The emir has different costumes for different outings. He wears this costume for the court session, but during Salah festivities, he wears a royal cloak which has a good.
Sarki zai ɗauko hula alkyabba da cewa ƙoƙuwa zai azata a kan shi.
The royal regalia are attributes of power of the traditional rulers. It symbolizes significance and grandeur. The Bayajid sword, which dates back to over 2,500 years, and the king's dagger are items of regalia which stamp the authority of the Daura Emirate.
Shi wannan maciji shine macijin da ya tsare rijiyan wanda a zamanin da ba a ɗaukar ruwa.
It's the snake that forces people to stop fetching water on daily basis. So Bayajidda came from Baghdad, the present-day Iraq, and kills the snake. So this word, snake, and the world symbolizes the emblem of Daura Emirate.
Kashe wannan maciji a rijiyan kusu.
One of the notable names of the Daura Emirate is the Dakamawa praise singers. The exquisite northern royal tradition, beautifully adorned in magnificence and fineness, is undoubtedly a sight to behold or savor.
You're watching Weekend. Wow, we just showed you a lot of detail about the Emir of Daura. The 60th, in fact, is Royal Highness Alhaji Farouk Umar Farouk. Yes, we went into the palace, we saw decorations, we saw the insignia of office, and we saw the deep symbolism and meanings of some of those things. Well, we continue. Very interesting angle now. Great perspective from one who designs the clothing of royals. And she's here today bedecked in a very aristocratic manner. Let's welcome Aisha Bello Akwanga. Your outfit today is so regal. In fact, someone says magnificent.
Thank you.
Fantastic. You're going to unwrap a lot of interesting details today for us about royalty, their regalia, and lots more. But that'll be when we return from this short break. You're watching Weekend Deal. Keep your messages and correspondence coming. Aisha Bello Akwanga, great to meet you. You look very regal yourself.
Thank you.
Are you from royalty?
Yes.
Indeed. Little wonder this is a path you have chosen to design clothing and regalia for royalty. How long have you been doing this?
9 years,
9 years.
2014.
Interesting. What's the journey been like?
Very taxing. We learn on the job. You know, we just keep going. It's really, really taxing because to achieve greatness, you have to just keep going and keep working.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Well, you look like greatness already. So little
Thank
wonder
you.
that you're ready to put your hand to this task and become the very best at it. But tell us, for example, the people you have designed for, royalty you have designed Regalia for.
Okay. Actually, I have designed for King Mo. I don't know, his name is Ochacho Real Homes. I don't have pictures of that, but I have designed for him. Okay. And then I have also did the creation for this Queen Amina inspired look.
So who is wearing it? You know, this look is a signage of all eyes. Anywhere this will show.
Well, this is a warrior queen costume. It's actually a collection, Queen Amina and her brother Karama, her sister. So basically, it's just a full collection of the Queen Amina. So the collection is called the Warrior Queen costume.
So who will wear this? Queen Amina is no more. And these days, we hardly have female warriors, but we have queens.
Yes.
And princesses.
A queen can wear it, a princess can wear it. Actually, it can be styled in many different ways. It's a transformer also. The back of the dress is also very, very dramatic. So you can actually style this dress in like 10 different looks. So you can style it with the warrior look, and then you can also style it as a simple abaya.
I want to take you to Benin City or Edo State or to Delta or to the eastern part of Nigeria, and I say, come design something for the Queen. They are having a big ceremony where they'll be welcoming emirs and other first-class rulers from all over Nigeria, and they're going to host them, for example. What will you take into consideration when designing for a queen or a lolo?
Usually, when you're designing, first you have to know what the person likes. You have to know how the person likes to dress. Then you have to look at the culture of the people. You have to look at the way they dress, the way they wear their traditional look and all that. You can go and design for a queen or a princess without actually knowing what they like. And then that comes to fashion styling, because at the end of the day, it's not all about the designer. It has to be about the person's personality and how they like to look. You can tell me you want me to style you for an occasion as a queen or as a princess, and then I just go ahead and do the styling. At the end of the day, the person might not like it. So you have to be in proper communication with the
and their colors
with the individual. You have to know the colors they like. You have to know the kind of shoes. In some instances, you have to go as far as creating a mood board and giving them options, at least of different looks, 3 different looks, so they can select from that look. At least if they don't like one thing from one look, they can pick up something from the other look and put on the other look. And then most of the royalties would like to customize their looks.
We're seeing some pictures on air right now.
Yeah, that's the picture are from, that is the Karama, the warrior queen's brother, who she took after him when the parents died. He became the king, and then she worked with him. She stayed with him. She worked with the cavalry as a military, and then she was there to guide him through.
Who can wear this now in this day and age?
Well, royalties, a prince can wear it, and then also celebrities can wear it for either their photo shoots or their video,
for their videos.
Videos. A king can also wear it. It depends on, actually, any dress depends on the way you style it. For that look, a king can actually wear it, a prince can wear it. It has a crown, it has the Queen Amina crown. If he doesn't want to wear it with the crown, he can wear it with the Ariwana cap, which looks like the proper Ariwa cap, which we design. Okay. Yes.
Where do you source the things you use to make your royal regalia from? Where do you source your instruments?
Okay.
For these art pieces you create?
I go to the arts and crafts village. Like for this collection, I got some of the fabric. It's a combination of ashoke, adire, and batik. So I got the batik from the art and craft and the ashoke from the art and craft village. And then the
appliques, the warrior prints again.
Yes, that's yes.
Little wonder that many Nigerians will like this.
Yes,
we like to make a mark.
That's actually from a fashion show called Ado at the French embassy. Yes.
So the French people like our designs as
well?
The
French people like the designs. They like the designs. They want to partner. They ask questions about partnership, and they intend to do so soon.
But you can't take our royal designs and give it to France, so
no, we can't.
It's purely ours.
Yeah, basically, I think they're just very much interested in seeing the Nigerian designers and what they have
internationally.
Yes, and
we're going back again to our Queen of Amina outfit.
Yeah, Queen Amina is actually.
We see there's white there.
Yes.
There's peach.
Yes.
There's gold. There's red. And of course, the very rich, an embodiment of her nature, which was as a warrior, the knife. This your area of design is unique.
Thank you.
It must be very profitable.
Yeah.
How are you encouraging other young Nigerians to come on board so that they too can learn? This is a unique angle of design that you are taking the lead in.
Okay, like how I encourage other people from the designer's aspect is when you have things like this to do, like for me, creating this look, I didn't really have the materials. What I used was the things I just have around me, because I was creating this look for African Fashion Week and I didn't have the resources to create the look at the time. And I asked myself, should I just give up and say I'm not going to?
It can be quite expensive.
Yeah, it can be quite expensive. So creating looks is not really easy. So making out regalias is even more expensive because regalias are expensive to create. So what I did was, instead of giving up, I just picked around the pieces I have. Like I had most of the fabric. I have some of them I have kept for years. Like even the ashoke, I've had it for several years. So I didn't know what exactly to do. When I found the ashoke, I said yes. I found the white organza, I said yes. I still have something to do. I found some of the appliques, and then I just told myself I just needed to get maybe an adire or something to add to it. What I would say is always try to invest in the things you do, even if you don't need them at the particular time that you're doing a project. You could just invest by buying things that you don't even need, that you feel you might need in the future, and keep.
Invest in your passion.
Yeah, invest in your passion. So when you have things like that to do, because you could have an occasion, you could have someone asking you to come and style them for an occasion or something, and then if you don't have the materials on ground, you have to start going and start struggling. Okay, should I start making this or should I start making that? Okay. Is it the fabric or is it the applique? Where are you going to spending your money on and all that? So but if you're able to save towards that, I think that will help a really...
Always be ready. Yes, that's the first mantra for our spectacular designer here. We're going to Maiduguri, we're going to Borno, in fact, where the Shehu of Borno takes center stage at this time. Let's go there.
The soaring structure of a royal dwelling, the Shehu of Borno's palace, a notable home of the traditional ruler of Kanem Borno Empire, which always smiles at its people. The palace underwent several structural redesigning ever since it was moved from old Kukawa to Yerwa, the present Maiduguri, due to modernization. The palace building is of great significance.
Native authority then decided to build the palace, reconstruct it with bricks, that is burnt bricks. So the palace was wholly built with burnt brick. And then later during the subsequent administration, because there are changes in leadership, because normally the waziris, who are the heads of the administration, and the councillors decided to effect changes into the design of the palace, and that was how this present one was designed. It was designed along the pattern of the British constructions. So the picture of the Shehu of Borno's palace cannot be found anywhere in the palaces of Nigeria, because it has a unique appearance and it has, the beauty that it has. We normally don't take pride in designing because we always go with the simplest designs. That is why if you go to the palace now, the only attraction is the red bricks and the kind of carvings and what have you.
When it comes to eminence, social standing is reflected in the costumes a person puts on. Let's take a look at the various traditional costumes peculiar to the Shehu of Borno.
Costumes that normally the Shehu wears has significance in two ways. The first one is the Kulu Indi Douchiloa. There's two gowns with one neck, we call it. It's blue and white. This signifies authority, and it is normally worn during occasions like Salah, celebrations, Jumat, and on the occasions of the closing of the annual Ramadan tafsirs, which we normally call Shifa Sao. And then the Shehu also has a specific clothing for mourning. Also during the Daba ceremonies, there are also costumes that are different. He can decide to wear the same Kulu Indido Tiloa, that is the two gowns which were knitted together, but he also wears the traditional war dresses, jubbe and saralik, with sword around him, and also the Shehu wears normal costumes that anybody can wear, just like any other person when there is no occasions or when there is no official engagements. We don't wear crown, and we don't wear any other thing that can show, but all that we wear is the red cap, which is called kalaus, tied round with turban, and the turban that you see on the head of His Eminence the Shehu depicts knowledge, it depicts scholarship. So it is royalty, it is authority, to wear this turban, as well as to wear the al-kabba, and also to have masu, that stick which they used to work with.
Uniqueness of historical Kanem Borno Empire still manifest in the face of today's cultural heritage and royal costume legacy of the people.
We've touched down back in the FCT, all the way from Borno, where we've been learning about the Shehu of Borno. We are told that the design, the intricate design in his palace is one of its kind and cannot be found anywhere in the country. It's unique to its people. And we're just talking with you, and you said you also design buildings?
Yes.
Architecture, masterpieces?
On dresses, yes.
On dresses, not on buildings.
On dresses, actually, I can design anything wearable.
We are not going to walls yet.
Yes.
Okay, we're about to wrap up our conversation. What will your final words be to Nigeria celebrating your art?
First, I will talk about the warrior queen, Queen Amina of Zazzau, who happened to be the strongest warrior in Africa. And then I would like people to find out more about her, and because it seems for such a person to exist and there's no much saying about her or her as a warrior or anything. Most people don't even know who Queen Amina is.
It's like she inspires a lot of your work.
Yeah,
Her strength.
Has strength. She was fierce. She was a warrior.
Wow.
You know, she fought battles. She's known as as woman as capable as man. So for such a woman to exist at the time she existed, it's something that is unimaginable to me. And then I keep wondering how such a woman will exist, and then where she lived in Turunku, because she lived in Turunku. She wasn't actually living in Zaria. They call her Queen Amina of Zaria, of Zazzau, now Zaria, but she didn't live in Zaria. She lived in Turunku. And that place in Turunku where she lived, there's a hill over there. At the place where she lived, I feel that place should be seen as a tourist attraction, because people should want to come over to Turunku. And
Turunku is what state?
It's in Zaria, is in Kaduna State. So I feel the place should be well developed. The government of Nigeria should look into that place and then try to create images of Queen Amina. It could be images on the wall. It could be anything that should remind people of an existence of a warrior queen such as Queen Amina, because a woman such as that has existed shouldn't actually be forgotten easily, because for Queen Amina, most people, historians even argue the fact that such a woman existed, such a woman with so much strength that was very fierce, because she created trade routes within within the northern part of the country, and she actually did a lot.
We want to thank you very much for coming on Weekend Deal today. Aisha Bello Akwanga, yes. Your designs are what they call bespoke designs. You know, you will not have celebrated here. You are already international.
Thank you.
Keep putting in the extra effort and the hard work.
Thank you.
You are making Nigerians very, very proud.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being our guest today on Weekend Deal.
Weekend Deal.
Well, guess who is here? Guess I remember style. It's Oge Kimono.
Yes,
yeah, she's the daughter of the legend.
Signature.
Great to have you with us on Weekend
Thank you so much for having me.
You know, it was like I was going down memory lane when I was watching you perform.
Right.
When I saw it, I'm like, is it still Oge or her twin? There's a total, complete difference when you're performing and when we see you live.
As it should be.
How do you make that remarkable separation?
Well, it's just knowing the role you play at the particular time. You know, Oge Kimono on stage is different from Oge Kimono off the stage, you know, and it should, I mean, every musician should be able to strike that balance, you know, especially when you also have a family, you know. You don't want to take the musician to the home, you know. The home is a calm and a quiet, serene place, you know.
No time for styling there.
Nah, man. Nah, man.
We'll talk about your daughter later, but let me talk about your journey into music.
Yes.
Was it like because your dad sang, you felt the need to also continue his storytelling?
Yes.
Or it just happened?
It just happened. I would say music found me. You know, I didn't grow up with my dad. I grew up with my grandmother in the East in Aba. Yes. And I only got to reconnect with my dad at age 15, you know.
Indeed.
But he was always coming home to the East to visit me, you know, because one thing that Kimono did well was keeping his children outside the limelight, you know, and keeping his family safe and secure, you know. So at age 14, I think, he had gone on tour, and he sent me one of the Sony Walkmans, and he sent me his cassettes and Bob Marley cassettes. Now, growing up as a kid, I was not a fan of reggae music. My grandmother was more of a rock, you know, pop, you know, a biggest fan of Tina Turner. Those were the kind of music I listened to as a kid, you know. And when I got the Sony Walkman, I thought reggae music is rather slow. What are they even singing? They're singing in patois. How do I understand this language? You know, so I had my own personal one-on-one connection at 15, because every night I go to bed listening to those cassettes, you know, and I started picking the words. I'm like, huh. So these people are actually saying something, it's really, really profound, the lyrics is profound, it's conscious, and that was when I started getting into it. And
like a spiritual connection.
Yeah, man, you could have said that again.
I like your journey. Please continue to detail it for us.
Yeah, so eventually after secondary school, I worked with my dad as a backup singer, because one of the concerts he had, one of his backup singers wasn't able to make it. So his manager said, oh, okay, it's here. She can fill up the gap, and he was like, no, I need her to concentrate on her education, let her finish school. He said, but she has just finished secondary school. She's waiting to get into the university. So let her do this. And that was how I started. That was where my music journey actually started professionally,
Wow.
Yes. I started singing.
How was that performance? What was the outcome? Ooh. No stage fright?
That performance... that performance was epic. What happened? So it was at Ikoyi Club, right? And while we were performing, I touched the mic and I got a little buzz from the mic, So I tried to get his attention. I just pulled one of his dreadlocks because he was standing close to me. Yeah. You would not believe what happened.
Please share.
Nobody saw that. Not even the person standing next to me saw what happened. My father turned around and slapped me.
Why?
Yes. So when we got off stage, we got to the backstage, and I said, oh, I just touched the mic and it gave me a buzz. And he said, when the mic shock you, shock the mic back, you're on stage. I have had incidences where I went to perform. Just recently, the Spanish embassy had put together an event in Lagos. And while I was performing, the lights went off. But I kept performing, because this is what Kimono has instilled in me. The show must go on.
Go on, yes. Little matter what.
Yes.
As long as you have bread, keep bringing on the reggae.
Yeah, man.
Did you have a collabo with Ras Kimono?
Yes, I got the opportunity to remix rumba style with him, But I really wish we did more than that. I wish we had original songs, that both of us came up with, nobody ever prepares for death. It never even occurred to us,
And
that
he wasn't ill,
he wasn't ill, it was just in a space of 3 days, but everything, Kimono is a prophet, I would say, because every time he tells us while he was alive, he said, any day I get to the hospital, know that is my go day. Yes, because he never falls sick.
Indeed.
He never goes there. Nothing takes him. Yes, nothing takes him to the hospital. And I remember Oris Wiliki, who is a very close friend of his, while he was in the hospital, Oris Wiliki said to him, oh boy, I thought you said you signed a pact with God that you would leave at 95. Now, he had just turned 60 and he was planning his 35th year on stage. And he says to Oris Wiliki, he said, my 95 don't complete now.
Indeed.
He said, I'm 60 and I was planning 35 years on stage. 35 plus 60 is 95, so my work is done.
Wow. It's been 5 years. Amazing. Until I saw the video of the performance, in Delta, it didn't even occur to us that it was already 5
years. Time flies.
How have you been keeping the family unit together as well as promoting music in that time?
It has been tough, I must say. It has been tough, but I'm forever grateful to the Most High. Like they say, Jack can never really give you more than you can bear. Whatever it is that we go through in life, God knows that He has given us the strength to pull through, and it has been challenging, but at the same time too, I am grateful, because for every challenge, when you overcome a challenge,
There's victory, right?
Yes, exactly.
There's victory right there. We want to see that video where your daughter was telling us that I'm here and the genes are in me, and all too soon, that stage is mine. I'm going to also conquer it and do something.
Yes, sir.
You were highlighting your father's excellent steps in music with a group of his friends.
Yes, and contemporaries.
Yes, recently we saw the likes of Righteous Man there, Oris Wilkie, and of course you did some of his numbers. We get to see their video now. Okay, Kimono on stage and the rest of the Raga family.
Ras Kimono was a legendary reggae musician. In celebrating his life and times, his daughter, Oge Kimono, organized the 5th year memorial concert in Asaba in his honor. highlight of the event was when the reggae artist present performed some of Raskimono's songs.
You know, they say Rastas never die, and Raskimono is one Rasta that can't die, you know, because he touched the lives of many people, you know, and his legacy continues to live through me, through his fans, his family, his friends, you know. On the 5th year, how do we remember this legend, you know, who is dear to a lot of people's hearts? And this is the reason why we have come to honor him today.
Encomium was poured on the legendary artist Raskimono.
This left his legacy of love, you know, and a man who fought the system, you know, with his weapon, that is music.
He prophesied a lot of things, and all of them are happening now, you know, so we just feel we need to come and celebrate this great icon.
Kimono was a jolly good man, a freedom fighter, a pace setter, and he was a voice to the nation. You know, a man that carries the sound of justice, of freedom, of redemption to all nations.
Raskimono was just such a selfless person, starting from a very humble beginning with nothing, and then he grew and made his name the way he did.
A life well spent is worth celebrating. So can be said of Raskimono.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Okay, live on stage. That was phenomenal. When I saw that young lady, I said, this is a legend's grandchild.
Yes.
Definitely the blood. There's something similar
Absolutely.
there. The way she was giving us the vibe. Then now see the mother. It's like, you know, the blood is strong.
Yes, it's in the DNA.
How did that coming together make you feel, you and your family?
Oh, I must say it's a thing of joy, you know, to meet people that appreciate kimono, that love kimono, you know, effortlessly, you know, because kimono was the epitome of love, you know. Everybody that came in contact with kimono, you know, one thing everybody has in common to say about kimono is his humility and his love for his fellow man, you know. And, you know, I keep saying in this 5 years since he passed on, I'm yet to meet one person that has something negative to say about kimono, you know. And funny enough, during the course of the celebration, I came across an old woman who told me a story that we have never ever heard.
And so it goes.
Yes, and she says to us that her friend is alive today is because of Raskimono. I said, what do you mean? She said her friend was traveling, I think between Benin and Delta or something like that, and she had an accident. And my father was on that road. My father stopped. He doesn't know her. He picked her, took her to the hospital, paid for the initial bills, you know, and left. And
she survived.
Yes, and she survived.
Wow.
And the next time he went back to the hospital to check on her to know if she was okay. So, and this is Mrs. Monye, you know, the mother to Ugo Monye, right?
Wow.
She said, your father your father is such a kind man.
Amazing.
You know?
And that's something we should all imbibe.
Yes, absolutely. You
when
know,
kindness goes round, reggae, raga.
Right.
We're seeing so much more of it. And that's the kind of life he lived. That's what he sang.
Yes.
Love, togetherness, unity. He wanted
justice,
joy for
equality.
everyone.
Yes.
Indeed.
You know, so, you know, when people ask, what's your favorite Raskimono song? You know, I always tell them there is a song called Ja Gaidai. He goes, oh, Jaja, see, them a come, them a vampires. Cha. Oh, Jaja, see, them a come, them a murderers. What? Oh, Jaja, see, them a come with them promises. Oh, Jaja, see, them a come, figure trickier. We say, let's do you know that them a come, figure trickier. So, me say, oh, Jaja guide from the enemies. Ba-da-da, guide, guide from the parasites. Hey, oh, Jaja guide from the wicked ones. Hey, oh, Jaja guide from the enemies. Yes, I. Me say, Jagada. Yes, sir.
That's without any support, audio support.
Yeah, man.
That's just completely and totally you. Yeah, man. Nice one there. Indeed. Enthralling totally.
Yes.
You know, I can remember you were telling us about your dad and how he wasn't ready for you to come on stage when you were 14, 15.
Yeah.
Are you imagining that sort of thing happening for you and your daughter? Because what we saw a few minutes ago is a young girl who was itching to get on that stage.
Right. You know, in my father's times, you know, things were different. Now we are in a totally different generation. You can't really curtail these children.
Indeed.
What you can actually do is when you see a talent in your child, you push them to that place, you know, so that they can be the best they can.
Support them everywhere you can.
You know, give them the platform, you know, to just grow and explore, you know. And I see that my child has the vibes, you know, because everywhere she goes in, you know, she lights up the place, you know. She's a free spirit, so I don't think I want to curtail her. I'm just going to guide her through her journey, you know, and just help her be the best version of herself.
Super fantastic.
Yes.
What a mom. We'll take a break here watching Weekend Deal. We're talking with Oge Kimono, daughter of music legend, late Ras Kimono. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Yes, we're here. Oge Kimono is still with us. And we're just talking about sustaining her father's legacy. Yes, we've just seen the 5th-year memorial, which you told me you brought his 11-man band of 25 years all the way from Lagos. Wow, to perform there at Onicholona first, then come to Asaba itself.
For the concert.
Interesting. Moving forward,
you know, this is an event that has come to stay. You know, it is the best way to immortalize Raskimono, you know, will be to have this event on a yearly basis, you know. And of course, it's like I keep saying, Raskimono's legacy is not for one person. Raskimono's legacy is a collective effort, you know, of his family, his fans, his supporters, and the government of Delta State as well, you know, because, I mean, Raskimono is a proud and industrious son of Delta State, you know, and what will be the best way for him to be immortalized, for him to be remembered in his state, you know, it would be to have this event as a yearly event, you know, and it would also add to the economy of the state, because when people are coming in for this event, hotels are booked, restaurants are making money, airlines are making money, you know, it brings tourism.
Revenue and tourism.
Revenue and tourism.
Because you're looking at having entertainers now.
Yes.
Perhaps young, up and coming, as well as established.
Of course. That's the whole idea.
Are you looking at a 1-day event, 2-day, 3-day?
Well, as it grows, you know, as it grows, it can metamorphose to even a a week-long event, you know, but we'll start with the baby steps. We can start with 1-2 days, and then as it grows, there is a lot to be done, you know, there is a lot to be done. It's not just the performance, the concerts, it is lectures, it is like the first year we had a memorial lecture at the Kosan House in Lagos, you know, and it was on a Monday, and we had professors that came, you know, to give lectures. And on the third year, I was in University of Nigeria in Nsukka. We had something massive there as well in memory of kimono, you know, and this is what kimono is about, you know, touching lives.
I get the feeling that somewhere up there, the musical legend, the musical royalty, Ras Kimono is smiling down at you. He must be so proud. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that it would be Oge driving this with a phenomenal power and force that is unprecedented? Fantastic.
It is very, very important that we uphold our heritage and culture, you know. Everywhere. And Ras Kimono is one of those people, you know, who has always been about upholding our culture and heritage, you know. And he did a song called Naturalist, you know. And Naturalist is the song that depicts him as he is, you know. And it goes, it says, I am a naturalist, living in the light of a Rastaman. Hey, I am a naturalist. Hey, some call me the only one. Hey, I am a naturalist, admiring the ways of the Indians. I am a naturalist, a true-born African. Yes, I. You know, so as Africans, we just have to keep, you know, upholding our culture, our heritage, be proud of where we are. For us, this younger generation, you know, I know it seems to be out of date if you can speak your language, but no, your language is your identity. Teach your children your language. Your mother tongue. If you speak Hausa, you speak Hausa. If you speak Yoruba, you know, Sora in Yoruba now. You know, just rep us.
Everywhere you go. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Oge. Wow, fantastic company you've been for us here on Weekend. And indeed, you've enriched our package with your performance, your real life narrative, details about your dad, you know, the legacy he's leaving behind, I know will be sustained going forward.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Yes, I.
To you who have keenly kept our company all through the package from yesterday up to today, we say big thank you to you. Nigeria is well endowed in every facet, every angle we can look at it, especially with our rich ancestry, our rich cultural norms and traditions, especially with our royal heritage. It's been Royal Palaces and Regalia. We thank you for your company. Keep repping and celebrating Nigeria. Together we are. Ubuntu, we said yesterday, we are because together we have made it this way.
Yeah, man.
Thank you. God bless Nigeria.
One love.